Alright, so I know I usually only do anime on this channel, but I've decided I'm going to do Arcane because it is animated and I really did enjoy the show. I know it came out 2 weeks ago, but I only saw it a few days ago, so we're going to be doing a review on this, and it will be a spoiler review, so if you guys haven't seen it, I highly suggest you watch it and then come back here. I'd say if you do watch anime, the show is similar to like Attack on Titan or Code Geass because there is a mob boss, there is an unjust society, so I'd say that, or regular shows or live actions that's similar to Arcane, I'd probably say is Ozark, Money Heist, Narcos, and Snowfall, similar shows like that. So like I said, I really did enjoy it, so go ahead, watch Arcane, and then come back here and see my thoughts and my review about season 1, because it is already guaranteed to get a season 2 and a season 3. And the things we're going to talk about in this video include the story and plot, the characters, which talking about their development, and which I liked the most and which I didn't like necessarily. And then lastly, we'll talk about music, fights, and animation, and then in the end I will give my overall thoughts and then give a number rating out of 10. And Arcane is based off of some of TFT and League of Legends, and there are some characters in there that aren't in League of Legends, but they're based off of some characters. I know Jinx, Vi, Caitlyn, Jayce, Helmdinger, Victor, and a lot of other characters that will probably happen in season 2 and season 3 that they are in it. And League of Legends, it's a fun game. I play it. It's really addicting. Time will pass when you play for it. But I got into League of Legends. I know my friends, they played it, but I got into it after watching Arcane and just seeing the different characters. The start of Arcane, or the story, it's about an unjust society. There are kids and a lot of people in the underground versus the enforcers, and the reason why I highlighted kids is because Jinx and Vi, who the story is basically about, Vi being the main character and Jinx being part of the goal, they started out where they lost their family and their parents, and it was just them. There was also Milo, and I forget the fat dude, I shouldn't say fat, the plump guy, I don't remember his name, but they were all a family until obviously Jinx or Powder, she ended up killing them. And so I like how I always love an unjust society. It makes people like the underground, I feel bad for them, but like, is it right for them to steal? I'm not necessarily going to say no, but I'm not going to say yes, because the way that the enforcer and the people of the council and above treat them, they put them in a situation where, well, they treat them like garbage and filth, and that they cannot thrive in that society. Like, they put them down where they have no choice but to steal, which is why Vander, being the head of the underground before he died, he was a family type of guy and everybody followed him. And the people of the underground, they are very tight-knit and they do follow each other until, I believe his name was Silco. He's like the mafia leader type of guy. He ended up getting Vander killed, and he's the one who took power and took over the underground. And Caitlyn, she is my favorite character. I'll talk more about her, why I like her the most a little bit later, but I love whenever shows bring somebody that's ignorant. I mean, she's not dumb, but like ignorant to the fact of her thinking that the people above and the enforcers, that they were good, and that when she met Vi and got to live and be in the underground, she got to really see what it was like and how they were treated. And now she's like the bridge between the underground and the enforcers, trying to unite them so that they can both live in a just society. So I really like that. And so Silco, he is the leader of the underground, where he is in charge of the Shimmer. Shimmer is kind of like a drug. Think about, if you guys have seen Batman, think about Venom, and how Bane uses that. It juices him up and it makes him strong. So that's what the Shimmer is used for. And it's also used to heal. He's used it to heal Jinx, and he used it to heal his eye. And I believe Vi, when she was bleeding, the Shimmer stopped her bleeding there. So that's very good. And I also like Jayce and Hestech. They're pretty important. One thing I was not the biggest fan of was Helmdinger, I believe that's his name. He wasn't, like, he was right, but he wouldn't treat Victor and Jayce in the right way, because he would tell them, hey, Hestech, you know, it's good that you guys want magic and all that and to better society, but don't do it. It still needs time. Instead of giving them an actual solution, he was basically being a negative Nancy. And was he right? Yes, but he didn't give them a proper solution or different alternatives as to why or how they could improve Hestech in a safer way. In terms of my favorite characters, the order, I'll give you three. It goes Caitlyn number 1, Vi number 2, and Echo number 3. I think that in terms of the best written, I think Jayce, Vi, Jinx, and probably Caitlyn, they're probably the top 4. I'm not going to say a particular order, but I'd say they're probably the 4 best written in the show. I know Jayce, he is easily influenced, and he has a lot of power, but it's hard for him to decide what is right and what is wrong, because he wants Hextech to be a company that can better society, but he doesn't know if building weapons is the right way or not. And then he had decisions to like close the border, open the border. And then we saw that scene with Vi when Vi was like, hey, we can take it to Silco and you got to come down there. He came down there and he was like, well, this is a mistake he's done. So Jayce, he has a lot of power, a lot of influence, but he doesn't know, and he's conflicted on how he should use that. And then there's Vi. She is important because she is or holds the most responsibility, being the older sister. She has a heavy burden, and that she went to prison because she was looking for a sister and all that. So Vi, her thing is she is a loner kind of, because she has a big heart. We saw Vander say that a lot. She doesn't like seeing her friends and family and people she cares about get hurt, but at the same time she is very hot-headed, and that she goes in guns blazing with her fists. So it's hard for somebody, and she's trying to find the perfect balance of being a good older sister and being a good person with not taking crap from people, and also trying to balance how she can go in without fighting, but fighting at the same time, being hot-headed, trying to be more level-headed, calm and collective. And then there's Jinx. Jinx is probably my least favorite character in this series. She's really annoying, especially when she got Milo killed, and I forget the other guy, but when she got Vander and them killed, she was like, oh, I did it. And then when Vi was like, well, what did you do? She's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then she started crying, and Vi hit her like, yeah, she told you to stay back. And I think she's well written because of her dealing with that, and how she now has a mental illness. I can't really say what it is. I took psychology a while ago, but she hears voices in her head. She can't make decisions properly. Stuff is hindering her. She's seeing things that isn't really true, and so she got a lot going on. That girl is crazy. And I forgot to mention also, the main reason why I don't like her is because she can't take any responsibility. I think she needs to start owning up for her actions, stop blaming other people. And I know like Vi, she'd be like, it's not your fault. Like, yes, Vi, it is Jinx's fault. She did it. She killed her friends, and she needs to own up to it. I will say one thing that I was a little bit scared about, and I still am, is the whole Vi and Jinx relationship. It reminds me a lot of Naruto and Sasuke, when Sasuke was lost going on that path, and Naruto kept going after him, kept going after him, kept going after him. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but at the same time, because Sasuke and Jinx are kind of the same in how they act, and that they do whatever they want, and that Naruto and Vi, they kind of act the same, how they're trying to protect them. And so I was a little bit annoyed. The point of Naruto, it shifted from being rivals to Naruto coming and bringing Sasuke out the darkness, and I feel like that was a little bit repetitive, and that there are times where stuff should not, like, you should not be trying to save them that much, because Jinx, or Powder, she killed Milo, the other guy, she killed Vander, then she did what she did with Caitlyn, was about to kill her. We saw her shoot the rocket at the councilman, and so Vi is still, and she almost killed Echo. Like, we thought Echo was dead. I think technically Vi and Caitlyn probably still think Echo's dead, and she's doing all that, and Vi is still trying to save her. And I'm like, well, at a certain point, you have to let her go, because she's gone too far. And it's a little bit annoying seeing that happening, and I hope that doesn't continue, or the main theme of the whole season 2 and season 3. I hope Vi can gain her resolve, swallow what she thinks of Powder and Jinx, and that Powder is no longer Powder, that she's Jinx, and that she has to take her down. I will say I was a little bit confused. I don't know if Vi and Caitlyn are a couple or not. As of this video, I'm going to say they are, and I love it, because there was a lot of interactions. She was like, when she was like, what do I do? Vi was like, you're a hot cupcake. I was like, okay. And then when when Caitlyn saved Vi, she was like, oh, you're a nice shot, an excellent shot. And she was like, oh, your name's not Cupcake because you're sweet. And then there was that whole scene when she walked in the rain, talking about with water and oil, you're not compatible, because to me, that seemed like a breakup scene. Right? Like, who talks about like friendships being water and oil? You don't see stuff like that. And then when Jinx had the little plate of the cupcake, she was like, I got your girlfriend. And so I assume they're a thing, and I'm gonna say that they are because there were so many. And the reason why I'm clarifying this, because a lot of times some people say I try to make romance like I'm looking into it too much. I try to make romance that's not there, but I see that there's chemistry there and that they genuinely care for each other. And if they are a couple, which like I said, I'm saying that they are, and I really do want them to be, because they wouldn't be my favorite couple, not just in Arcane, but I'd say in all of fiction, like they probably be like a top 5 to 7 couple. So I really hope that they're a thing and that they're canon. And let me know if I'm wrong or if I'm right. Let me know about them in the comment section below. And lastly, we're going to talk about the animation, music, and fights, because I think the choreography and the fights were great. I loved the scenes, especially with Vi. The way that she fights reminds me of a boxer. Like whenever I remember that scene with her and Jayce when she slid down that pole and then knocked the crap out of that robot human cyborg thing. That was amazing. And seeing her with the combo, seeing Jayce in action, we love to see it. I think it was great. There's also times when they switch from 2D to like, or 3D to like 2D animation kind of, and like they highlight like the point of impacts. I think that's really well done. It's really good. And I also think that the music choice is great. Like whenever it's an intense moment, the music is right on time with a hit that is landed, a combo that's landed, or like a takedown, something like that. And whenever it's like a sorrow mood, they do a great job with the music choice. And especially, I think my favorite scene has to be with Echo and Powder when they're on the bridge, and when Echo pulls out his watch and he's going back and forth, and then Powder reloads the gun like in tune with the music. And I'll play that for you guys real quickly. This reminds me of a scene, I don't know if you guys have seen it, straight out of Attack on Titan, when Eren, he is getting shot, getting attacked by the Warhammer Titan and getting shot by the cannonballs. I'll play that for you guys as well. And so seeing that whole scene, I think it was well done. The music, the animation, and just seeing how it mirrored their game that they played when they were kids, and how that they're grown up and that they have to take each other out for their own goals. And so I like how that worked, and we got to see it blast from the past. And Echo, he took her down. It reminds me of I don't remember when it came out. I think it was like 2013-ish, maybe 2013 to like 2015, from Naruto, Kakashi versus Obito, how they were fighting, and they were fighting from when they were sparring in the past and the present was intertwined. That was one of my favorite fights, not just in Naruto but all of anime. And so the scene with Powder and Echo, or Jinx and Echo, it reminds me of a better version or an updated version of that. So to conclude, these are my final thoughts. I think Arcane is good. I think if you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. And if you haven't seen it, I don't know why you're watching this video that long anyway. I give it about a 9.5 out of 10. The only thing I didn't like, I think episode 2 was kind of slow to me. Jinx is a little bit annoying, and the whole Vi trying to save Jinx thing, it's cool, but I'm a little bit skeptical and hope it doesn't drag out too much longer. I feel like that one of these days they're going to have to fight each other. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your guys' thoughts about Arcane, and let me know if you guys are excited for season 2 to drop. I know I am. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. It's on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.